From the perspective of a video editor, gamer, and artist who loves to draw and 3D model, it can be really tough to find a device that not only facilitates but also enhances all of these hobbies in one portable package. I want a touchscreen that plays nice with all the modern drawing pens that are out there in the market today, so I can draw directly on the device or to sculpt 3D objects. I want to be able to play my favorite modern games at a smooth 60 FPS while being unplugged, so I can play games wherever I want without worrying about chargers. And to extend that logic, I want the battery life to be good playing games or not playing games at all, especially when not plugged into anything. I would also like a lot of VRAM to render more polygons while 3D modeling or playing video games. For most gaming laptops on the market, we're looking at around 8 to 12 gigs of VRAM. And most importantly, I want all these things in a lightweight chassis that I can take on the go. After spending several months with the Republic of Gamers' Flow Z13 2025 edition, I may have finally found the unicorn device that checks all of my boxes and then some. If you'd like to see more content like this, support the channel by clicking the like button and subscribe for future content drops. For those with access to the hype button, hype up this video, it really helps out the channel a lot. Thanks. This is not a sponsored video, but I will leave affiliate links to any product or accessories covered in this video in the description below, or through YouTube's shopping feature. On the technical side of things, the Flow Z13 2025 edition is a touchscreen 2-in-1 tablet laptop that comes with a detachable keyboard and a very sturdy kickstand. While some may not enjoy the tablet form factor, as an artist, I love being able to use it as a drawing tablet or as a note-taking device depending on what the scenario is. The screen itself is sadly not an OLED screen. It is a 13.4-inch QHD screen dubbed the ROG Nebula display. This IPS display comes with a refresh rate of 180 Hz and supports a 16:10 aspect ratio. It also supports a resolution of 2560 by 1600. While it does not have the vibrancy and true blacks of an OLED screen, this IPS screen helps to keep the power consumption of the laptop overall in check. And on that note, for the form factor and relatively small size of the laptop, the Flow Z13 is a beast in gaming performance. At 1080p, Monster Hunter Wilds runs on high settings at a very smooth 60 FPS. Pushing it up to that 2.5K resolution though, it will struggle to maintain 45 FPS without FrameGen. For most casual gamers though, turning on FrameGen lets you go above 60 FPS without any noticeable difference in feedback. Tackling other modern games with wide open spaces, like Borderlands 4 and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, at default high settings, you can see that this laptop performs really well, providing a stable 60 FPS or above experience as long as you don't turn on ray tracing. This minor caveat and level of performance is all thanks to the new AMD Ryzen Halo Strix AI Max chips that contains both a CPU and a GPU in one package. On the technical side of things, this combo allows for a lot of efficiencies that essentially lowers power consumption, allowing for a better ratio of power to performance. Being an AMD CPU and GPU though limits us on the software side for things like access to ray tracing or DLSS. Instead, the laptop relies on AMD's FSR upscaling technology. For the Z13 2025 edition itself, there are two processors that you can choose from, the AI Max 390 and the AI Max 395 Plus. Do not get the 390 if you have any desire to play your future games at a great stable frame rate. For the 395 Plus models, the price is anywhere from $2,000 to $2,800, not accounting for any sales or holiday discount. As of the making of this video, I did see a very good deal on Best Buy. I'll leave links in the description and comments below depending on when you watch it. There could be a sale, there could not be a sale, depends. The device itself can be configured with 3 different DDR5X RAM configurations. The lowest price configuration comes at 32 gigs of RAM, while the highest is 128 gigs of RAM. There's also a mid-tier configuration, the 64 gigs variant, that is sold by select retailers in the United States, that being Best Buy. Again, not sponsored, but I actually enjoy buying from Best Buy in the United States just because I can do in-store pickup, which lowers my stress quite a lot when dealing with purchasing any expensive items online. I don't have to worry about the goods getting damaged or stolen on the way to my door. Unlike other devices, the Flow Z13's RAM configuration not only handles the RAM itself, but also the VRAM in the device. Without getting too technical, VRAM is a separate, dedicated instance of RAM that is used for graphics processing, such as when playing video games or rendering 3D animation. With most devices that utilizes a CPU and GPU combo, the CPU draws from the RAM while the GPU comes built in with its own VRAM. For example, a desktop RTX 4090 comes built in with 24 gigs of VRAM, while a laptop version of the same graphics card houses 16 gigs of VRAM. For most average GPUs in a laptop, you'll be looking at 8 gigs of VRAM. Most modern games desire around 10 to 14 gigs of VRAM. So for most users, 32 gigs of RAM will work just fine. When you move beyond gaming and into things like 3D rendering and animation, working with a local LLM, or editing a video with a variety of post-processing effects, that's where going beyond 12 gigs of VRAM will start to really matter. With the 32 gigs of RAM model, you'll most likely be splitting 16 gigs between VRAM and RAM, but you could also split it 24 to 8 in either direction. For my own personal use, I went with the 64 gig model. With this configuration, I split it evenly between RAM and VRAM, so both of them get 32 gigs. But if you're not doing all the crazy creative stuff that I would like to do, you can bump it up to 48 gigs of RAM while offsetting 16 gigs for VRAM. The default storage option for this device is 1TB, but you can easily upgrade it to a 2TB for yourself, thanks to a handy SSD slot behind the kickstand. One downside though is that your SSD replacement choice is limited due to the non-standard size. As of right now, there isn't a bigger storage option for the form factor that it's in. Some fun fact that I really like about this laptop is how it handles heat dissipation. When doing any intensive work, the heat is concentrated and dispersed from the top of the tablet, saving your lap from any discomfort if you're using it as an actual laptop. The device can be charged in two ways. One is with a USB-C cable and can go up to 100 watts. The other is through the Z13's proprietary port that can charge up to 200 watts. While the official proprietary charger itself is not heavy, you can upgrade the portability of it with this SlimQ portable charger, link in the description below. The SlimQ portable charger itself uses GaN technology, reducing its size and weight. Additionally, it comes with an electrical outlet extender, making it easy to use with any outlet configuration. Do note though, if you did want to go with this charger, you will have to order the proprietary charging head that connects to the BenQ charger itself. I'll also leave the link to that in the description below. Now that the technical portion has been covered, I want to gush about why I really like this device and why I think it might be perfect for you if you're somebody like me. One of the biggest things for me is not being stuck in one place for too long, especially when creating long-form content. If I'm working on a project or a more difficult piece of artwork and or 3D model, I like to become a bit of a nomad and go to bookstores, cafes, coffee shops, maybe hang with a friend while doing what I'm doing. The Flow Z13 is a hassle-free way of doing that. I just have to carry this tablet around, and whenever I want to create, I just open it up and I'm able to just draw on it or start sculpting something. I don't have to lug around a separate drawing tablet or something like that. And although the highest performance turbo mode for this device is locked to when you're using the proprietary charger, I find the runtime performance of all the games that I enjoy playing to be great even when unplugged and in standard mode. A lot of laptops, especially ones in my past, tends to cap their power quite significantly unless you plug in the charger. And the ones that don't have that restriction tend to only last for 30 to 45 minutes. That's not to say that the Flow Z13 does not have that problem as well. When playing any intensive game on battery, you're going to get anywhere from an hour and a half to an hour 45 minutes of true runtime. But when you're not doing anything intensive and you're using silent mode or the battery saver mode, you'll be getting anywhere from 6 to 7 hours with this device. Less graphically intensive indie games or older games would fall into this category. Although I have a workstation at home, I do travel quite a bit, so having a reliable travel companion that is capable of what I want to do makes it so much easier for me to get stuff done. It also helps that the build quality is amazing. It feels like a quality product, and then the footprint of the whole device itself is so small. And while it weighs a little bit more than other tablets, it takes up almost the same amount of space. No cap, I bring this laptop with me everywhere in daily life, just because it's so easy to carry around with me. I do have some nitpicks for the Flow Z13, however. First is the no OLED screen. I love OLED screens, it's so vibrant, it's so pretty, but I can understand why they did not choose to go with an OLED screen due to the power consumption. And then there's the RAM dynamic configuration. It only has specific profiles, and it doesn't really impact me too much as a 64 gig user, but for 32 gigs configurations, it can have an impact. I was thinking about buying the 32 gig configuration when shopping for this, but then I found out about this RAM configuration setting, and that makes it a no-go for me. The user cannot pick and choose to their heart's content how they want to configure their RAM. They can choose from what ASUS has set up for us. For example, there is no option to configure 12 gigs of VRAM and 24 gigs of RAM on the 32 gigs of RAM model to meet that sweet spot for mobile gaming. One of the biggest weaknesses of this laptop are the speakers. The sound quality is not great, and when playing on turbo mode, the fans can be pretty loud and annoying. Funny enough, Monster Hunter Wilds seems to perform better when playing in standard mode instead of turbo mode. For my configuration, I have standard mode capping the temperature of the device to 75 degrees Celsius, while my turbo mode configuration allows for up to 80 degrees Celsius. Although with that said, 99% of the time when I'm using this device, I'm usually in a public space, so I'll pair it up with a Bluetooth earbud. For earbuds, any will do. I recommend ones with multi-port connectivity, allowing you to swap between your main audio device, like your phone, to the laptop with relative ease. The one I'm currently using is the Bose QuietComfort Ultra 2nd Gen Desert Gold Edition. As a black and gold lover, I really enjoy the colorway. The 2nd gen of the QuietComfort pairs really fast, swaps well, and best of all, you can customize not only the earbud size, but the wingtips as well for a snug and tight fit. This is one of the first Bluetooth in-ear device that hasn't fallen out of my ear when I go on a more strenuous run. Other accessories that I would pair up with this device are as follows. A PS5 DualSense controller with a shell container. The shell container is an easy, cost-effective way to protect the controller from scratches, stick drift, and debris. The PS5 DualSense controller itself are goated, boasting great ergonomics, and for games that support it, haptic feedback is unbelievably cool and immersive to any gaming experience. Next is a hard laptop sleeve case. You want something that can take a little bit of trauma and also be water resistant. I don't have a particular brand in mind, but I will leave the link to the one that I've been using in the description below. You'll probably want to consider a portable mouse as well. The default touchpad is fine, but nothing beats an ergonomic mouse that fits well in your hand. For general travel and use, I've been using the Logitech Pebble. It is small and runs on battery, which seems to last forever. I haven't had to replace it yet. If you're looking to do something more intensive like a first-person or third-person shooter, aim for one with a high polling rate for both the wireless latency and for the mouse sensitivity itself. Next up are screen cleaners and microfiber cloth to keep the screen clean. I've been living life on the edge and I haven't used any kind of screen protector for this just yet, and it's doing fine. I don't see any scratches on it. It's good. But if you're worried and want to be extra sure that you're not going to break it, also get a screen protector. And lastly, I've been using the Wacom Bamboo pen. The one I got runs on a Quad A battery, but I have seen chargeable versions of it. The reason that I got this pen though is not because I really wanted it, but because this device does not support EMR technology. For those not in the know, some styluses will not require any pairing at all and will work on your screen as long as there is this support for electromagnetic resonance technology, or EMR technology for short. As for the interaction with the screen itself, while this screen is not the best for a pro artist, it is certainly much better than the likes of a Surface Pro. It will range from great to serviceable for most users that are not professional grade. If you are in the market for a creative beast of a device for either yourself or your friends, I would highly consider the Flow Z13 2025 edition. On the creative side of things, it streamlines all the little annoying bits of getting to the meat of your creation process, making it easier for you to get out there and go and pursue your next crazy idea. The portable nature of the device has also made collaborating with others a breeze. On the gaming side of things though, it has exceeded my performance expectations for most games that I would want to play. Sure, it is not the most powerful thing in the market, but the weight of the device, the battery life when unplugged and gaming, and the sheer level of performance makes this device hard not to recommend if you have money to burn. If you only care about gaming and you don't care to have the truly portable nature of a laptop, for example, you travel but you're gonna plug it in every time you're gonna play a game anyways, this device may be a bit overkill. You may be better off with something like a Steam Deck OLED or a Republic of Gamer Ally. To this day, I still use my Steam Deck OLED quite a lot. It is lightweight, feels great in your hands, runs a lot of different games, and has a stellar, vibrant OLED display. But its age is starting to show. It can't run more modern games like Monster Hunter Wilds and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth very well at all. While those games can run on a Steam Deck, I don't know if you would enjoy sitting through the stuttery mess that it is. Anyways, if you're in the market for a new laptop, I hope this video helps you to make your decision. Once again, nothing in this video is sponsored. This is just coming from my own personal perspective. I really do enjoy this laptop and has found it to be a joy to use every single time that I get a chance to use it. Thanks for watching. For more fun content, check out this video on screen right now. My name is Varsona, and I'll see you in the next video.